शौनक उवाच महिं प्रतिष्ठाम् अध्यस्य सौत्रे स्वायम्भुवो मनुः तानि अन्वतिस्तद्वाराणि मार्गायावरजन्मनाम्. Sri Shaunaka inquired, O Sutta Goswami, after the earth was again situated in its orbit, what did Swayambhuva Manu do to show the path of liberation to persons who were to take birth later on? The Prabhupada says the appearance of the Lord as the first boy incarnation occurred during the time of Swayambhuva Manu, whereas the present age is in the period of Vaivasvata Manu. Each Manu's period lasts 72 times the cycle of 4 ages, and one cycle of ages equals 4.32 million solar years. Thus, 4.32 million times 72 solar years is the reign of one Manu. In each Manu's period, there are many changes in many ways, and there are 14 Manus within one day of Brahma. It is understood here that Manu creates scriptural regulations for the salvation of the conditioned souls who come to the material world for material enjoyment. The Lord is so kind that any soul who wants to enjoy in this material world is given full facility for enjoyment. And at the same time, He is shown the path of salvation. So the Lord is kind. He lets you enjoy. But at the same time, He really wants us to. What does the Lord want us to do? Come back. At the same time, He wants us to take up His teachings to go back to His abode. So that's His kindness. And to effect that, He gives this knowledge to Brahma, who gives it to the Manus, who writes it down for each day of Brahma. So many Manus are coming, so they give the rules and regulations for all these people, conditioned souls. Text 2. Shakta Mahabhagavatah Krishna's Yaikantika Surhe Yastadya Jagarajam Chi Krishne Sapatyam Aghavanidhi. Shaunaka Rishi inquired about Vidura, who was a great devotee and friend of Lord Krishna, and who gave up the company of his elder brother because the latter, along with his sons, played tricks against the desires of the Lord. So Vidura didn't want to hang around with his older brother because they were offensive to Krishna. So that's why he left. Now in the purport, Prabhupada writes towards the end, as a devotee, Vidura showed by example that anywhere that Krishna is not honored is a place unfit for human habitation. A devotee may be tolerant regarding his own interests, but he should not be tolerant when there is misbehavior toward the Lord or the Lord's devotee. Okay? So you can tolerate for yourself. If people say something nasty about you, it's okay. You can tolerate. But if they say nasty things about Krishna, then you cannot tolerate. You should talk back. You should tell them they are nonsense. Where you are saying such things? Which scripture is saying? The Krishna in Bhagavad Gita say he's like that. So you have to ask them this question strongly. Or if they say something about some devotee also, you should try to protect the devotee also. Don't talk like that. You don't know the whole story, right? We are not Trikalagya, right? Who here is Trikalagya? right? Nobody. So if you are not in that caliber, you shouldn't say things about devotees. Or he's like that. Maybe time, place, circumstances, right? People are going through so much difficulty. So therefore, we should be very tolerant for ourselves, but not so much when someone else is disturbed or Krishna is being put down like that. Here, the word Agavan is very significant, for it indicates that the Kauravas, Dhritarashtra's sons, lost the war because of being sinful in disobeying the instructions of Krishna. Remember, Krishna came to make peace as a messenger for the Pandavas. They refused. Whatever Krishna told them, they didn't want to listen. So therefore, they became sinful and disobeyed the instructions of Krishna. Text 3. Eventually, they all got killed.
Dvaipayanat anavaro mahitve tasya dehajaha sarvatmana shrita krishnam tatparamschapi anuvrataha.
Vidura was born from the body of Veda Vyasa and was not less than he. Thus he accepted the lotus feet of Krishna wholeheartedly and was attached to his devotees. So Vidura is very qualified, just like his father, Vedavyas. And he also loved Krishna so much. So this is his quality. Text 4.
Kim anva prachan maitreyam virajas tirtha sevaya upagamya kushavarta asinam tattvavittamam.
Vidura was purified of all passion by wandering in sacred places, and at last he reached Haridwar, where he met the great sage who knew the science of spiritual life, and he inquired from him. Shaunaka Rishi therefore asked, what more did Vidura inquire from Maitreya? So they are asking a lot of questions. They're very interested in what Vidura asked Maitreya, because a lot of technical things are coming out, so they may be interested in some of these topics. So they're asking, what else did he ask? So generally we all go to Tirtha also, right? So Prabhupada has something to say in the purport. In the middle second paragraph, Prabhupada says, another significant point is that one must go to sacred places not only to take bath there, but to search out great sages like Maitreya and take instructions from them. So in ISKCON, we don't have to search any great sage when we go parikram. Prabhupada is a great sage and his sishyas all are well trained. So we don't need something extra. So we just have to go with them and listen to the pastimes or instructions they give us. If one does not do so, his traveling to places of pilgrimage is simply a waste of time. Shrama eva hi kevalam. Simply because if you are not going there for spiritual knowledge, it's a waste of time. Narottam Das Thakur, a great acharya of the Vaishnava sect, has for the present forbidden us to go to such places of pilgrimage because in this age, the times having so changed, a sincere person may have a different impression on seeing the behavior of the present residents of the pilgrimage sites. Right, if you go there, you get shocked. A lot of devotees have got shocked. They say, why is like that? Why is it so dirty? Oh, I can't go anymore. I don't want to go to Vrindavan. I don't want to go Mayapur. It's true. That's a fact. He has recommended that instead of taking the trouble to travel to such places, one should concentrate his mind on Govinda, and that will help him. Remember in the Bhagavad Gita, which chapter is it? Chapter 12, right? Where Krishna says, If you cannot do this, you do this, right? First he says you have to meditate on him. So this is what Narottam Das Thakur said. But not we are not on that platform. So Prabhupada says, of course, to concentrate one's mind on Govinda in any place is a path meant for those who are the most spiritually advanced. So we are not that advanced. It is not for ordinary persons. We are very much like ordinary. We are slightly better than ordinary, but we are not Paramahansas. Ordinary persons may still derive benefit from traveling to holy places like Prayag, Mathura, Vrindavan, and Haridwar. So we can go there also, but we have to have a guide. Not just simply go there for holidays or just walk around, like that. People do that, right? They just walk around and you can see they talk and nonsense. No, we are not going there for those things. You go there and then you get together and then you discuss what is this location, who was here, which, what they derived, what's the benefit. It is good to go to the Dham. We should go. Prabhupada actually wanted all of us to go every year so you can get purified. But situation may not be that you can go every year. So if you can't, and when you go, you have to make sure you have proper guides. Just don't go on your own, take a, what is that, Tata, Sumo or whatever, and just go zoom on there. Nice breeze. And that's not the goal. You have a guide who will tell you what is the significance. And then you meditate. Sometimes the pastimes is in the Bhagavatam. Then think, what happened in that I have read in the Bhagavatam? And then you pray to that holy place, give me some mercy, so that at least I can remember. Sometimes we travel and then the very next day you forgot where you went. Right? And then like what Vrindavan Parikram, you will do a whole month, you will do, and then when you come back, you don't even remember how the Parikram was. That means you are not meditating. We are meant to meditate. Okay, this is the Raman Reddy, then you go walk by the two Krishna Balaram tree, and then you walk further down. All this you have to remember. Huh? I can't hear you.
Lota Baba.
That's not there, no?
Yeah, but Govardhan Parikrama.
No, I'm talking about
He just transferred.
He is transcendental.
Transferred.
Yeah, so same, like, yeah, Govardhan also you can remember all these places like that. You meditate like that. Yeah. Huh? So yeah, you can go to places, all these places, but don't go to places where it will be dangerous. Huh? Don't go rock climbing on the Himalaya to reach some location that is very sacred but very hard to go. You are not a mountain goat, so don't go like that. Go places that you can go safely and come back safely, and then help others and tell people how nice the place like that. That's important. To go, you can go, but also have to be sincere about it. If you are sincere and you go there and you want to know, Krishna will make sure that you will get some benefit. It's not for fun we go there. Huh? Not go there and run crazy until you don't know what you are doing. Huh? Usually people go Vrindavan only, they think of what? Loi Bazaar. Exactly. So that means there's a problem, right? If you're only thinking of Loi Bazaar, maybe still in Vrindavan. The point is we should think about the deities, the nice places, like that. So that we have to cultivate. So if you cultivate like that, then you're sincere. If you don't cultivate, then you're not being totally sincere, and you may not have a good chance to attain Krishna in this life. So think carefully. So go with your spiritual master, go with the authority, go with someone who can guide you in the Dham. Text 5.
तयो संवदतो सूत प्रवृत्ता हि यमालः कथाः आपो गंगा इवाग्निर् हरे पादां पूजाश्रयः
Shaunaka inquired about the conversation between Vidura and Maitreya. There must have been many narrations of the spotless pastimes of the Lord. The hearing of such narrations is exactly like bathing in the water of the Ganges, for it can free one from all sinful reactions. So the rishis, they want more pastimes. They're like, tell us more pastimes. So they want to know what Vidura asked, but they're really saying there must be some pastime, right? More than this. We are hankering for it. It's so nectarian. Give me more. That's like Tava Katamritam, Tapta Jivanam. So this is like that. They're like hankering on you. I want to hear these pastimes. So we have to also hanker like that. Text 6.
तान कीर्तय भद्रं ते कीर्तन योदार कर्मणः रसज्ञ को नु तृप्येत हरिलीलामृतं पिबन्
O Sutta Goswami, all good fortune to you. Please narrate the activities of the Lord, which are all magnanimous and worth glorifying. What sort of a devotee can be satiated by hearing the nectarian pastimes of the Lord? So they are saying, you can taste. You are a person who can taste rasagya. That means he can appreciate the different mellows. Very highly elevated person, actually. Sutta Goswami, not the ordinary person. So they are telling him, you can appreciate. Why don't you tell us so that we can also share in that appreciation? So that's what discussing of pastime means, so that you can help people come to the level of relishing the different rases, if you are able to. You help them. But not artificially, you cannot. You can put butter and jam, some rases there, but it's not that kind. You cannot give them orange juice and say it tastes sweet, so the pastime must be sweet like that. You cannot equate like that. You must really feel that, and then because you feel that, you can give it to others. Yeah? That means you have to be sincere also, like that. So whenever we speak on the Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, we must be sincerely. How do you become sincere? That means you think, my spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, you please speak through me. Kindly empower me to speak. But I am useless otherwise. And then even if you speak nicely, you should think, oh, thank you for, thank you. Like that, finish. Not think, oh, I'm so good. You're not good. We are never good. Text 7.
एवं उग्र श्रवापृष्ट ऋषिभिर्नैमिषायन है भगवती अर्पिताध्यात्म तानाः श्रूयतामिति.
On being asked to speak by the great sages of Naimisharanya, the son of Romaharshana, Sutta Goswami, whose mind was absorbed in the transcendental pastimes of the Lord, said, please hear what I shall now speak. So he's not proud also, no? He's not like, hey, I got something else to say. Look, I know about this. No, he said something, he kept quiet. They asked more, then he thought about it and he said, okay, I'll tell you some more. Yeah. To help them also absorb the transcendental pastimes. Text 8.
Sutta uvacha हरेर्धृता क्रोडतनो स्वमायया निशम्य उदरणं रसातला लीलां हिरण्याक्षम् अवज्ञनाय हतम् सञ्जातहर्षो मुनिम् आह भारतः
Sutta Goswami continued. Vidura, the descendant of Bharata, was delighted to hear the story of the Lord, who, having assumed by his own divine potency the form of a boar, had enacted the sport of lifting the earth from the bottom of the ocean and indifferently killing the demon Hiranyaksha. Vidura then spoke to the sage as follows. So the Prabhupada said it is stated here that the Lord assumed the form of a boar by his own potency. His form is not actually the form of a conditioned soul. A conditioned soul is forced to accept a particular type of body by the higher authority of material laws. But here it is clearly said that the Lord was not forced to accept the form of a boar by the external power. Swamayaya, that is the word is used. So the Lord on his own took the form of a boar, not by any other thing. So that is very important. Prabhupada wants us to understand it. Because why? Because Maya philosophy keeps coming in. They'll say, oh, he took a boar, so he must be material. No, it's his own form. Perfect form, transcendental form. Text 9.
विदुर उवाच प्रजापतिपति सृष्ट्वा प्रजासर्गे प्रजापतिम् किमाराभत मे ब्रह्मन् प्रभुर्विभक्त मार्गवे
Vidura said, since you know of matters inconceivable to us, tell me, O holy sage, what did Brahma do to create living beings after evolving the Prajapatis, the progenitors of living beings? So here, the word avyakta margavid, one who knows that which is beyond our perception. So here, this word is used to describe Brahma. The first avyakta margavid is used to describe Brahma also. Our authority is Brahma, and the next authority is in the disciplic succession is Narada. Maitreya Rishi belongs to that disciplic succession, so he also is avyakta margavid. So Vidura was also calling him that, saying that beyond our perception, he knows this thing. Why? Because he is a pure devotee, transcendental. Maitreya Rishi is on that platform. Anyone in the bona fide line of disciplic succession is avyakta margavid, provided he only repeats and not changes. So you cannot change what you hear. You have to repeat exactly what you heard from Prabhupada. Then you are avyakta margavid. Okay? Because on our own we don't know the things, right? For example, the fifth canto about the universe, we don't know. We don't even know what we see in front of us. So how to know all this? So by simply repeating, we will understand by the mercy of Guru and Krishna. Text 10.
ये मारीच्याद्यो विप्रा यस्तु स्वायं भुवो मनुः ते वै ब्रह्मण आदेशा कथं एतद् भावयन्
Vidura inquired, how did the Prajapatis, such progenitors of living entities as Marichi and Swayambhuva Manu, create according to the instruction of Brahma, and how did they evolve this manifested universe? Text 11.
स्वदितिया किम् असृजन् स्वतंत्र उत कर्मसु
स्वतंत्रा उत कर्मसु
आहोस्वित् संसथा सर्व
आहोस्वित् संहता सर्वा
इदं स्म समकल्पयन्
इदं स्म समकल्पयन्.
Did they evolve the creation in conjunction with their respective wives? Did they remain independent in their action, or did they all jointly produce it? Text 12.
मैत्रेय उवाच
मैत्रेय उवाच
दैवेन दुर्वितर्केण
दैवेन दुर्वितर्केण
परेणानिमिषेण च
परेणानिमिषेण च
जातशोभाद् भगवतो
जातशोभाद् भगवतो
महानासीद् गुणत्रया
महानासीद् गुणत्रयात्.
Maitreya said, when the equilibrium of the combination of the three modes of nature was agitated by the unseen activity of the living entity, by Mahavishnu, and by the force of time, the total material elements were produced. So Maitreya is again giving the summary of what he said earlier in detail. So the Purport Prabhupada says, the cause of the material creation is described here very lucidly. So this is a good description of how it starts. The first cause is Deva, or the destiny of the conditioned soul. The material creation exists for the conditioned soul who wanted to become a false lord for sense enjoyment. So understand this, this world is for us, specially made for us, special, only for you. Nobody else. Right? You go to shopkeepers, they say, only for you I give discount. Exclusively I give you the special rate. It's the same thing. Just for us, special. The Lord created just for us. Why? Because we want to be a false Lord. That's all. One cannot trace out the history of when the conditioned soul first desired to lord it over material nature. So don't ask when. Okay? This cannot be understood when it happened because it's been going on for such a long time that we don't know when. We've all forgotten. But it happened some time ago. Okay, in the eternal timeline it happened.
The when was so long back that we try to say it is Nitya Bhatas.
Yeah, because it's just too long. Let's not worry about it. It's forever. But in Vedic literature, we always find that the material creation is meant for the sense enjoyment of the conditioned soul. So we have been coming here for so long enjoying. That's what it is. Even the scripture don't know how long, but that's how long. Such nonsense, we don't even want to give up. There is a nice verse which says that the sum and substance of the conditioned soul's sense enjoyment is that as soon as he forgets his primary duty to render service to the Lord, he creates an atmosphere of sense enjoyment which is called Maya. That is the cause of material creation. As soon as you think I want to enjoy, that's it. Finish. You are here crying somewhere. It's a little baby. In the next paragraph, Prabhupada says, in the third line, it is mentioned here that in the beginning of the creation, the material nature of Prakriti is agitated by the personality of Godhead, Vishnu. Vishnu means Mahavishnu. There are three Vishnus mentioned. One is Mahavishnu, another is Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, and the third is Shirodakashayi Vishnu. The first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam discusses all these three Vishnus, and here also it is confirmed that Vishnu is the cause of creation. Means within this material universe, okay? Within this Mahatattva and Pradhan area, outside of these three personalities, Purusha, avatars, okay? From Bhagavad Gita also we learn that Prakriti begins to work and is still working under Krishna's or Vishnu's glands or supreme tendons, but the Supreme Personality of Godhead is unchangeable. One should not mistakenly think that because the creation emanates from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he has therefore transformed into this material cosmic manifestation. And that is wrong conclusion. Unlimited expansions come from the Supreme Lord. He always remains the same. It is like that. You cannot conceive of this thing. It's very difficult. But just try to understand that all unlimited number, and it's still coming from the Lord. And he's still the same. Yeah. Complete. He's always full, complete. Purnam. That's why you also know that verse, Om Purnam Ada Purnam Idam. Right? So know that. Because it's perfect. Whatever he creates is also complete and perfect. And you cannot say that the material is not perfect. It's perfectly arranged so that you can get out. Not that it's for you to enjoy and remain here perfectly. No. It's perfectly arranged for you to get out. Okay? Yes.
So the way I understand is that, say my free will, I get influenced by the environment around me.
That is after you came here.
Then that's my question.
Yeah.
But how does it, like over here, I see that,
Yeah, over here you can see things are influencing you.
yeah,
But
then,
before how, right? That's what
Yeah.
you're saying. I've already given a simple example. Your parents tell you, okay, Namita, you cannot go to the movie show with your friends. But you did it anyway. And then they say, if we catch you, we will punish you. You know the punishment is there. And you still did it. Why?
but that is over here.
No. That is free will. That's how it is. You know there's a punishment, but you still did it. You had the full knowledge.
No, but then the soul is there with Krishna.
This is how it is. Free will. Prabhupada says they have this
Because there
tiny
is
free
so
will.
much, so much love, affection, everything is there.
It's not like that. It is
I
tatastha.
should be asking this question, but I am.
No.
I mean, this case it came exactly like when Maharaj was there. Also, they asked the same thing.
I know,
It
I
is
should be
tatastha.
asking.
Tatastha means you can be easily influenced by Maya also.
No, but there's no Maya. That's why I sometimes I just wonder
No, you
where
see-
did that conception come from? Because nobody else has that conception.
No. It's like that.
That's why
Prabhupada
we-
also saying here, just what little comes into the mind to enjoy, that is not connected to Krishna. As soon as that tiny thing comes in the mind, boom. He has the free will to think like that. That's what it is.
So free will to think, then you will thinking, feeling, and
You understand? You have the free. Just like when your parents tell you not to do, you have the free will to do it or not to do it.
I understand, Prabhu, but
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. You are thinking I am a pure Purnam and everything, and then
no. The way I see it is that here the influences are strong, so then I can go out of
but
that.
that's exactly how it
That's why it's
is.
silly. It's stupid. Why we made this mistake?
You made the choice.
Yes, Prabhu.
You had the intelligence and you know it's wrong, but you're like,
I think
That's
in
why you're
spite of
breaking
everything I made that choice.
yes.
That's why we are breaking our head.
But probably in that case, once we go back, what is the guarantee that it's not going to happen?
We read just now. didn't
promises,
we?
Krishna promises.
We read it, right? At Jai Vijay.
So
There's a possibility of fire, but Krishna will protect.
But then does it mean that the first time we have done
Hey,
this?
listen. What the Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita,
Once you come to my abode,
you never
Yes,
fall.
I'm fine.
So why you don't trust Krishna?
But no, then
So Prabhu is asking,
Going
maybe
back to
this is my
Maharaj's
second
thing.
time or
we were already with Krishna, so we shouldn't have followed.
No,
but
no.
now it's like once bitten, twice shy.
It's like if you have a nightmare, you keep wanting to dream the same nightmare, or you don't want to dream.
it's like this. There is a light.
Yes or
lamp.
no? You don't want to dream nightmare, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing. So once you experience Krishna, you can understand this is a terrible existence. You never want it anymore. It's like that.
It's so bad that you don't want
Exactly.
The
It's
knowledge.
like if you got a nice room or you want to go into a stool house and live like that.
So
So this is the first time that we are following.
I don't know. Yeah,
We can
Well,
say
that should be.
we
So
can say
you are first time,
only one
Yeah.
time only.
you are Gaga.
Maybe your second time.
No.
And Vijay are doing fast time.
Only personalities who come for pastimes are sent by Krishna. We were not like sent by Krishna.
No, also personalities who come to deliver the other.
Yes, they are all sent by Krishna.
First time means
They
that
don't want to
it's
leave Krishna. They really don't want to leave Krishna. But Krishna tells them, you do this for me. So then they come. Reluctantly, actually. But once they come, they'll do the service very perfect.
Yeah, but
So, Prabhupada also said, like, if we choose wrong, again, free will, we choose wrong, the chances are that, like, accidents on the royal road also can happen. So that means that.
I mean, here,
But even if we exercise free will wrongly,
that's here. Your free will exercise wrongly is here. The point is, you always have free will to either decide to serve or not. So this question is something you cannot understand because we don't have the capacity to understand how we can make a mistake. Okay, but we made a mistake. Why can't we understand that we make mistakes?
no, that's what purpose is letting. No one can argue about when and how the
Yeah.
conditioned soul became designed.
That's his point, you know.
But the cause is there.
It is there. So you cannot keep wasting time about this. You're drowning in the ocean. You don't think how I fall, who pushed me, and like that. You think I want to get out. Please, somebody come and pull me out like that. Same thing. Once you go back in the spiritual world, you won't even want to know why you came. In fact, it's embarrassing.
It's
like a dream.
embarrassing
It's
now.
like a bad dream when you have.
Yeah.
You don't want to tell. Yes.
So you don't even want to think. You that okay, I don't want to know. And it's become so embarrassing, so humiliating, so humbling. That's why you start crying. You know, Krishna is so kind to come and take you because you are such a nonsense.
But as you were saying that
Yeah.
even now every moment we have the choice.
Yeah, every moment we
So
make.
where we are going to Krishna, we are doing service for him, or doing something else.
Anyway, this is a question that people cannot accept because they are bogged down into wrong logical conclusions. So this doesn't work in that way, you know. This cannot work in that way.
Oh, I heard somewhere like yes, I think it's saying as soon as you have a thought of sense endeavor, I don't know if I heard somewhere that when you decide that okay, I want to enjoy independently, Krishna will dissuade you or the devotee will dissuade you if you.
I have no idea. I don't remember.
It doesn't matter. But
Yeah, I don't remember all this. I think it's instantly here. That's how I feel.
Instantly means after many years in the body of Mahavishnu.
Whatever, it's instant.
Raja Pradhanan Mahata Srilingo Daiva Chodita Jatah Sasarja Bhutadir Viyat Adini Panchashaha.
As impelled by the destiny of the jiva, the false ego, which is of three kinds, evolved from the Mahat Tattva, in which the element of Rajas predominates. From the ego, in turn, evolved many groups of 5 principles. So all the different 5 working senses, 5 sense organs, all those things start taking place, which we have already covered. Text 14.
Tani Chaikashah Shrishtum Asamarthani Bhautikam Samhatya Daiva Yogena Haimamandam Avasrijan.
Separately unable to produce the material universe, they combined with the help of the energy of the Supreme Lord and were able to produce a shining egg. This is the thing coming out of Mahavishnu. Text 15.
शोषयिष्टाब्धि सलीले आंडकोशो निरात्मकः साग्राम वैवर्ष सहस्रम् अन्ववासितं ईश्वरः
For over 1,000 years, the shiny egg lay on the waters of the causal ocean in the lifeless state. Then the Lord entered it as Garbhodakashayi Vishnu. In the Purport Prabhupada says, from this verse it appears that all the universes are floating in the causal ocean. So not inside, not drowning, but floating. Clear, no? Let's not argue this over and over. Because Prabhupada says, in another place he says like foams, bubbles and foams. So sometimes they may be stacked on top. So he says some of them may not be inside,
Still floating.
but still floating. Text 16.
तस्य नाभे अभूत्पद्मम् सहस्राकुरुदीधिति सर्वजीवनिकायुकौ यत्र स्वयम् अभूत्स्वरा.
From the navel of the personality of Godhead, Garbhodakashayi Vishnu sprouted a lotus flower effulgent like 1,000 blazing suns. That's the power of the lotus. This lotus flower is the reservoir of all conditioned souls, and the first living entity who came out of the lotus flower was the omnipotent Brahma. So in the Purport Prabhupada writes, it appears from this verse that the conditioned souls who rested within the body of the personality of Godhead after the dissolution of the last creation came out in the sum total form of the lotus. This is called Hiranyagarbha. Alright, let's continue text 17.
सोनुविष्टो भगवता नमशेते सलिलाशये लोकसंस्थां यथा पूर्वम् निर्ममे संस्थया स्वया.
When that Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is lying on the Garbhodaka ocean, entered the heart of Brahma, Brahma brought his intelligence to bear, and with the intelligence invoked, he began to create the universe as it was before. In the Purport Prabhupada says, at a certain time, the personality of Godhead, Karana Dakashayi Vishnu, lies in the Karana ocean and produces many thousands of universes from his breathing. Then he enters again into each and every universe as Garbhodakashayi Vishnu and fills up half of each universe with his own perspiration. The other half of the universe remains vacant, and that vacant region is called outer space. Then the lotus flower sprouts from his abdomen and produces the first living creature, Brahma. Then again, as Shirodakashayi Vishnu, the Lord enters into the heart of every living entity, including Brahma. Okay, so this is how Brahma is empowered, when the Lord goes into his heart also. So the next paragraph, Prabhupada writes, Brahma was the first living entity, and he was empowered by the Supreme Lord to act in charge of the mode of passion. Therefore, he was given the required intelligence, which is so powerful and extensive that he is almost independent of the control of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he is really empowered, the Shaktivesh. So he can act independently. That's the point here.
That's why it was possible.
Hmm?
That's why yesterday we read.
That's why yesterday we read he was also addressed as Swarat. Yeah. But not complete. Yeah. The Lord, in the couple of lines, the Lord as the super soul within Brahma gave him the intelligence to create. The creative power, therefore, of every living entity is not his own. It is by the grace of the Lord that one can create. So in this regard, The scientists think they can create so many things, right? But actually, what can they create? They can only create what the Lord reveals to them in the heart. In this regard also, in the, also reminds me of the same pastime, Shamantaka Jewel, when Jambavan is fighting with Krishna. After the fight, he realizes this is Krishna. So then he praises the Lord. He says, "My Lord, you are so wonderful. People don't know how wonderful you are. The materialists think they are so intelligent, but they don't know that you created their brain." So that is how wonderful the Lord is. He gives us the potency to think. It is stated in this verse, finally Prabhupada writes, that Brahma created the universe as it was before. What does it mean? It means that he created everything by the same name and form as in the previous cosmic manifestation. So he doesn't change every time the names, fixed names. Indra, all these fixed.
Just follows the prototype.
Just prototype is there, just follows. Everything is revealed to him. He doesn't change. Doesn't change. It's just the same. There's only one product. So the brand name doesn't change. It's always the same brand.
Maybe little variation.
Indra,
Maybe little here and there some variations.
maybe variations of the product, but the product is the same. Text 18.
Sasarja chaya ya vidya pancha parvanam agrataha tamishram andha tamishram tamo moho mahatamaha.
First of all, Brahma created from his shadow the coverings of ignorance of the conditioned souls. They are 5 in number and are called Tamishra, Andhatamishra, Tamas, Moha, and Mahamoha. So these are the different levels of ignorance of coverings. In the purport, Prabhupada writes, the first covering is a covering of Tamishra or anger. Okay, this anger is towards Krishna because they want to enjoy, and if they cannot do that, they get angry or envious of Krishna. So this is that Tamishra. And then when he forgets who he is, he's supposed to be Krishna's servant, but instead he wants to be one with Krishna. That condition is also called Tamishra. So Prabhupada writes, even in the field of spiritual realization, this Tamishra mentality of living entity is hard to overcome. So we all find that when we are practicing. In trying to get out of the entanglement of material life, there are many who want to be one with the Supreme. Even in their transcendental activities, this lower grade mentality of Tamishra continues. Basically, it comes to the point of identifying that the body is the self. As it becomes more and more, as it continues more and more, it comes to a point of identifying that the body is the self or under Tamishra. So this is the same thing. They just want to be one with the Supreme. So they think, I am the same, so how I can fall from the spiritual world. That's what it is.
So, Tamishra would also mean if we have the tendency to enjoy while we are executing our own devotional service also, that means
Basically, Tamishra is anger, but it's due to the envy of the Lord.
Right.
Yeah, that is Tamishra. And then when it becomes more, they identify with the body and then they are afraid. They are afraid of losing the body, and so their fear takes place. So that is under Tamishra.
So, as practicing devotee, as I am practicing, and I'm at the same time, there's a tendency to enjoy independently, even while doing devotional service, because it's not selfless devotional service.
Yeah, so
that would also be
if you are doing
Tamishra.
devotional service and you don't want to give it to Krishna, but you want to enjoy that, That is also the same thing.
Tamishra.
That's still, yeah, you're covered still.
So it could be more with other devotees also, it's not with God. It could manifest with other
That
devotees
ignorance,
also.
well, basically that means you are covered, no? Idea is not to do all these things. Yeah. You have to realize I am tamasic, ignorant about these things. So the envy of the Lord in the material world, the envy goes to all living entities. So it doesn't matter whether with one devotee or any living entity. Yeah. So anger, dvesha comes through like that. So that is tamishra. So under tamishra involves considering death to be the ultimate end. Because they are attached to the body and so they don't want to give that up. It's fear. Right? It is abhinivesha. So that they are afraid of that. So because they don't want to give up that, they are fearful, that becomes under tamishra. It is due to too much ignorance based on the body, attachment to the body. So that is tamas. Total ignorance, avidya. When avidya increases, I am this body, they are in tamas. And then Prabhupada writes, right? He says, the condition of not knowing anything about the spirit soul is called tamas, which means ignorance of the true self. This material world is also generally called tamas because 99% of its living entities are ignorant of their identity as soul. 99%. Practically everyone. Basically, they are so much into my body, this, my relationship, my family, all these things. Very much into this. So much false ego. And so when this false ego comes in, motherland, home, children, wealth, all this increases moha or illusion, which is in the middle of the last paragraph. And then when that becomes like society, family, nationality, and then you become so mad, you become mahamoha. Everybody, every society want to accumulate more and more. I want this, we want that. Oh, I want to get the oil from this country. It's all illusion. We deserve it. They don't deserve it because we need it. It's for our country. Mahamoha. Mad after enjoyment. So this are all given in the Vishnu Purana. If you want to further research this, you can. Prabhupada quotes the Vishnu Purana quotes there at the end. So you can check it out.
So
Text.
one of the type of hells is also called Andhatamasya. It's where the Bhagavad Gita is this term Andhatamasya. One of the types of hells.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Out of
Yeah.
26.
Out of 26, one is Andhatamasya. Where they scare you to death. You die and then they take your body away and then they give you another body and then they kill you, they take you the body. That's hell is like that. Like they open your mouth. If you like to drink alcohol, they pour hot iron in your mouth. Oil, iron, that's what I read. So they pour until you die and then they revive you. Hey, wake up, wake up. Hey, you wake up, they open pour again. So it goes on forever. For long time, 1,000 lives like that, 1,000 years, every day, every moment, you go through so much pain, scary, hell.
Then they send you on to come and start drinking.
No, then after that they put you in animal body because you didn't use your human body or even lower
But
forms.
then how do we learn the lesson?
That is punishment to reduce your karma and sin.
But then the lesson is learned.
You will, at that moment you are willing to change,
Again, we condition.
So then we carry that willing to change.
Yes, there is it, that ability to change is there. But before that, you are punished for abusing the human form. So you go into animal. So hopefully, when you come up, that thing will awaken you.
Yeah, because I fear that I would have forgotten so many
Yeah,
things.
that's why we forget, because otherwise you go crazy.
No, not the experience of it, but the
Everything.
lesson of it.
It is there. You will learn.
But on our own, we cannot come out. But our fortune is that we had met somewhere, some
Devotees.
Yes.
Yes.
So then we slowly got.
Yeah, that's why you create the fortune for the next generation by doing performing devotional service, performing Garbhadana samskars and all that, so that you will help that jiva go back. That is the idea. That's what Brahma is doing, no? He wants everyone to go back to God. Otherwise, he feels bad, right? When he created some of the things.
That's what he said to his son also.
Yeah.
So, Prabhu, as you said, like the living entities as they evolve from this animal body to the human body, so there is they want to change, right? That thing is there. If that is there, then why not everybody is looking for the spirituality when they come? Into the
They are actually, because when they are born, they are given the wrong association and wrong inputs. So therefore, they get further covered. Yeah. Otherwise, if the child is given the opportunity to take up, is there. Whether he takes, that's another thing. We can't control the free will. But the
Yeah,
opportunity, they may hear, and then they may change a little bit. They may. I'm not saying all the way, but they do. Just like Mirgari the hunter, when he heard from Narada Muni, he changed, right? So similarly, some of us, we also had sinful life. We changed. Why? Because it made sense. Because from previous life. Otherwise, it's not possible. And mercy. Yeah. So it helps. You get punished, you won't want to do. It's not like you, unless you are a demon, asura, who only wants to enjoy more and more, regardless, or who's an atheist. Yeah. So those who are born in atheistic family, and if they don't get a chance to know about Krishna, then it's very scary for them. But somehow, because if they have from previous life, then they will meet a devotee. Or Krishna will arrange for them to. Yeah. In general, we do not know. We do not know. But it is there that we want to repent. Bhaktivinoda Thakur also writes in the poem, right, in one of his songs, where the living entity is praying before he takes birth. Lord, I won't make any more mistakes. That's because he knows. He already experienced everything. He doesn't want to do that.
But that also you were saying, I think one time you mentioned that is also only some souls pray like that. Not
Yeah,
all.
some souls. Yeah. Because they are already evolving.
Yeah.
So they can. Yeah. But the point is, yeah, every soul wants to actually go back to Krishna. The thing is, according to the level of covering, they have lost the understanding that they can enjoy in the spiritual world. They think this is it. And so all the scientific research and all doesn't help when you are intelligent. Some people are so intelligent, but they cannot, because such knowledge blocks them from making that advancement.
It's like in the womb when they suffered, they come out their figure. It's like Haridas Prabhu gives the example. Sometimes when people die, they go to funeral. At that time, they will all become philosophical.
Yes.
And after a week, they'll just continue with normal thing.
Yeah. Because the material nature is very powerful. Avananamika Shakti covers you very strongly. That's why you must have some piety somewhere to help you, the rope to come out. Somebody must help us. Now you understand
The rope,
why we have to give books and talk to people.
the rope is being thrown,
Yeah.
but you
Somebody has to.
some security to catch.
Yeah. Either you have Sukriti or somebody gives you the Sukriti.
Creates that.
So these modes of material nature, so they're like at different degrees of covering karma based on that.
Yes.
So these three modes of material they create all these different opportunities for different consciousness
Yes.
types to
Yes.
engage themselves in the way they want.
Yes. Yes. Otherwise, how can they enjoy, right? Some people like to eat worms, cockroach.
So they have to be really covered.
Yeah, they have to be covered to be able to enjoy those things. Right? Like pigs, they eat stool. we cannot imagine, but the pigs don't mind. So you need to be covered, all these things. It's a feast, yeah.
So like when the Bhagavad Gita, when we read like the Lord says, I have created this guna, this material nature, it can seem like, oh, why did he trap us? But actually it is his mercy that he's given these different opportunities for
Because
us to
we
enjoy
want
the
to
way we
enjoy.
want.
We want to
The way we
enjoy,
want.
yes. We want to enjoy these things, this way, that way.
So he's created that facility also.
Yeah, that is why he's God, because he's allowing us to enjoy.
That's how
If he don't let us to enjoy, then he is not correct in that sense. He's not giving us a free will.
So the 84 lakhs of species
Yeah,
the soul can take to enjoy.
yes, that's right. 8.4
So,
million.
and in that also there are different consciousness.
Within each species, there's different.
Consciousness.
There's always unlimited combination of consciousness.
It's the consciousness or it's a different types of body?
Within that, okay, like
Even human beings have so many different
yeah,
consciousness.
even in India, you have all different, right? Gujaratis, Hindis, Punjabis, Sikh, all this, right? Why? Because they still have a little variation.
So it's both things,
What both things?
body and consciousness.
It's always consciousness. Within
According to
a subset, there is subset.
Yeah, everyone has their own nature.
Yeah, within that subset, another subset is created.
According to the consciousness, the body is
Yes, but it's in general that consciousness fits this category. But within that category, they have sub.
Categories.
Right within it's like that. Yeah.
The example I heard is Dr. Sambhava Maharaj had given this example. There's a bug, pure white light. And you cover it up with a color paper.
Yeah.
And then the thickness of the paper and the color of the paper determines the species and the consciousness.
Yeah, Prabhupada writes in the Bhagavad Gita. I think, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why these
Cover.
5 levels of covering
Yeah.
and ignorance also are different types.
Yeah, later on you'll see this modes will combine. Prabhupada actually mentioned earlier on, right? 3 and 3, 9, 9 and 981, and then they combine to form 8.4 million species.
And to be honest, this soul goes through the different species for life, but when they are going through those different bodies of animals, they don't occur the karmas, right? So
No.
they enjoy, and then when they come to the human form,
You are saying they enjoy. They're not necessarily enjoying. This all going through
but they
some
don't occur the
no
karmas.
karma. Yeah. They're
The
using
form is
up,
just burning up.
burning up. They need to use up those bad karma. Yeah. Okay, thanks.
I was just like a silly question, but the creation of qualities, we can't really understand what is the meaning of creation of a quality. We can understand creation of elements, but when this creation of
It's a bit
five
subtle.
qualities is sort of difficult.
It's
to-
like colors you mix, right? I can give you 3 primary colors and you can mix.
Yeah, but here like, he's saying five qualities have been created.
Yeah,
Mishra and the Mishra.
that also is happening.
Yeah,
There's so many things happening at the same time.
Categories, subcategories.
yeah. So it's sort of.
There are many things are happening at the same
The
time.
artist, one is painting. Before painting, there is a conception in his mind that he is painting, right? This color. So subtle. Both of them are material, but one is subtle, one is gross.
Yeah, that is one way of understanding it. Yeah. At the same time, so many levels are mixing and coming out also. So this is only something summary he's giving. Maitreya is giving some, because remember previously he gave so many other details.
Now is
He didn't include some of them here.
Yeah.
He's talking about how this living entity is also covered. So one of these things that happens is this layers of covering happens.
So I can understand by my own example that I have, let's say, these 5. So somehow this is, who is saying, the subtle forms are there of these qualities, which are created first prototype, and then individual living entities are covered by these.
What do you mean?
I mean, I'm just trying to say, I mean, when creation of qualities in general, without referring to any specific living entity as such, let's say Tamishra and the Tamishra.
So that's 5
Right.
number of
So I can
elements.
understand by my own personal example that I have this covering of Tamishra, Tamishra. But in general, before with dealing with any living entities, how these five qualities
Yeah, yeah, they are
already
there. They are there. Like elements are there.
Yeah,
Like taste is there.
yeah.
Right?
So
Like
it's the
sight
same
is
kind
there. They're all elements. So same thing, these coverings are there also. They are on the they are alive in one sense, but they are not alive like us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then from there they go into each living entity. So according to the individual's covering is required. Very subtle. This is on a very subtle level.
Yeah.
The more you do ignorance, then the more gross you exhibit those qualities, the Tamishra qualities, Tamasic qualities.
What Prabhu gave the
Because,
example, like what Prabhu gave the example, like the qualities are like the colored glasses,
yes,
and then each living entity, whatever glass they want to wear, they can wear and then see that kind of. So this Tamishra, they are with different colored glasses. It's
so this is based on individual also. This under Tamishra, fear, death, and all this, family, the nation, and all is within a human being. He has further coverings also. Within species, there's another. What he was saying is like a species growing,
Yeah.
but within a human being, this is a covering, levels of covering from grossly covered to someone who's not that covered.
Yeah, we can see.
Yeah, so that's what this is.
I'm saying, yeah, we can see.
Yeah.
this thing.
Yeah, we can see it among ourselves also. Right? You also go through this thing sometimes. If you are not Krishna conscious, you will be thinking like that.
So when Sanatana Goswami wrote the Brihad Bhagavatam, is it based on teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu?
Yes.
Or you want to sort of direct recitation?
Yes.
So somebody asked in the temple, basis for
No, it's all teachings from whatever they heard from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They were empowered to write it down like that. Yeah. So he wrote the. They know your password. Okay, let's go. Text 19.
Visasarjatmanakayam Nabhinandam Shato Tamomayam Jagdur Yaksha Rakshasasmi
Shamsi
Ratrum Shutrit Samudbhavam
Ratrim Shukrit Samudbhavam. Out of disgust, Brahma threw off the body of ignorance, and taking this opportunity, Yakshas and Rakshasas sprang for possession of the body, which continued to exist in the form of night. Night is the source of hunger and thirst. Okay, through his body means not like his body was ignorant and thrown. No, it's his consciousness. Okay, he discards that consciousness, and when he discards that consciousness, it becomes a body for different entity. In this case, the Yakshas and Rakshasas try to get that. Okay, text 20.
Shutridbhyam upsristaste Tam jagdhum abhidudruvuhu Ma rakshatainam jakshadvam iti uchu shutrid ardhitaha.
Overpowered by hunger and thirst, they ran to devour Brahma from all sides and cried, "Spare him not, eat him up." So that is how much they were covered up, these Rakshasas and Nakshas.
So even the Adi Rakshasas were that cruel.
Well, that's the source, right? Prabhupada says the representatives of Yakshas and Rakshas still exist in some countries of the world. It is understood that such uncivilized men take pleasure in killing their own grandfathers and holding a love feast by roasting the bodies. So there are people like that. In some really, really jungle areas, Amazon or wherever, people are crazy like that. Text 21.
Devastan aha samvigno Mamam jakshata rakshata.
Mamam jakshata rakshata.
Ahome yaksha rakshasmi.
Ahome yaksha rakshasmi.
Prajavyuyam babhuvitha.
Prajavyuyam babhuvitha.
Brahma, the head of the demigods, full of anxiety, asked them, "Do not eat me, but protect me. You are born from me and have become my sons. Therefore, you are Yakshas and Rakshasas." So, Prabhupada says the demons who were born from the body of Brahma were called Yakshas and Rakshasas because some of them cried that Brahma should be eaten and the others cried that he should not be protected. The ones who said that he should be eaten were called Yakshas, and the ones who said that he should not be protected became Rakshasas, man-eaters.
A question, Brahma.
They are born of mode of ignorance, and therefore, because of their behavior, they are called Rakshasas or man-eaters. They are both original creation by Brahma, as you were saying, Adi.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
Rakshasa is different from Daitya and Dana.
Yeah, they are different from Daityas and Danavas.
So they are less powerful.
Who?
Rakshasas.
Not necessarily. Some of them, like Ravana, became very powerful also. So it's not. They are under the categories of demigods. Remember,
Oh yes.
creation.
Yes.
So they have a lot of power also.
So Brahma's body is not grass; it's a subtler, right? How do
Yes.
we understand that when the Rakshasas say cut him up and then eat him? So how do we understand that? What is the cutting and eating of?
They
Brahma's
want to
body?
eat him. They can see him. Remember, Brahma then took a body, right?
Yeah.
So then he has more body. Before that, he had a transcendental one. Then he took another body. Yeah.
I mean, it's very difficult.
It is
to
difficult. So
conceive
why you
to-
worry about whether they want to cut? They wanted to eat him.
Yeah, I think he's coming because Brahma's
In
body
grass we can perceive the grass,
subtle
but
things.
subtle things we cannot perceive.
Yeah,
right?
but
How
they
we-
can.
They
Rakshasas
can
can.
eat body of intelligence.
Rakshasas can. Yeah, they wanted to eat him. Yeah.
That's why they get into our
So
consciousness.
then the subtle.
Like dogs can hear the sounds which we can't.
No, he is thinking eating only must be gross to
See
eat.
the grass.
You cannot understand what they can eat. Right, they can eat. Yeah. Just like you cannot see yourself eating insects and cockroach and things like, can you? But there are people who can eat that also. More gross.
More gross.
Similarly, there are people who can eat subtle bodies. Ghosts can eat subtle bodies.
Yes.
So that's possible.
10 or 12 years ago, they caught a person in the United States. So when they opened his fridge, they found a lot of heads, human heads.
Human, it's eating human.
Even in India,
Cannibals.
day before yesterday, I was reading news. Like one person in, I think, somewhere in the north, they actually killed some people and then he was eating their legs
Hmm.
and then head, like Rajasthan or somewhere.
North England.
These things happen.
North of Tamil Nadu.
North England.
North of Tamil Nadu.
Karnataka.
Anyway, there are people who are still eating other people. They are like Rakshasas. So, subtle people can eat subtle bodies. Like you can't see the demigods eating fruits and so on in demigod world, right? But they are eating fruits also. Subtle fruits. So similarly, Rakshasas want to eat Brahma's subtle body. Yeah. Okay, text 22.
Devata prabhayaya
Devata prabhayaya.
Divyan pramukhato srija
Divyan pramukhato srija.
Te ahar surdevayanto
Te ahar surdevayanto.
Vishrishtam tam prabham aha
Vishrishtam tam prabham.
He then created the chief demigods who were shining with the glory of goodness. He dropped before them the effulgent form of daytime, and the demigods sportingly took possession of it. So we saw the demons were born from the creation of night. Now the demigods were born from the creation of day. So Prabhupada says the demigods are with the glory of goodness. So they are born of quality of goodness. Whereas the demons, the akshas and the rakshasas are quality of tamas or ignorance. Text 23.
Devo devan jagannatha Srijyati smati lolupan Tainam lolupataya Methunaya bhipedire
Lord Brahma then gave birth to the demons from his buttocks, and they were very fond of sex. Because they were too lustful, they approached him for copulation. So you can see that these people were really, really low class he created. Huh? So these are demons who wanted to have sex with him. Text 24.
Tato hasansa bhagavan Asurer nirapatra Anviya manas tarasa Kruddho bhitah parapata
The worshipful Brahma first laughed at their stupidity, but finding the shameless asuras close upon him, he grew indignant and ran in great haste out of fear. Sexually inclined demons have no respect even for their father, and the best policy for a saintly father like Brahma is to leave such demoniac sons. Text 25. You can see how you are wondering how some of these qualities are present in this world. It is from the creation. These things are very, very gross. Continue.
Sa upavrajya varadam Prapannariti haram harim Anugrahaya bhaktanam Anurupatma darshanam
Try to understand, these living entities want to enjoy like that. That's why they are getting such bodies. Translation. He approached the personality of Godhead, who bestows all boons and who dispels the agony of his devotees and of those who take shelter of his lotus feet. He manifests his innumerable transcendental forms for the satisfaction of his devotees. Right? So the Lord takes many, many forms, avatars, just to come and help the devotees, his dear devotees. So when they are in difficulty, he's always there to protect them. He's always favoring the devotees, and he will cut down the demoniac or people who are against the devotees. Text 26.
Ahimam paramatmamste Reshane nasrijam prajaha Aimaya bhitum papa Upakramanti mam prabho
Lord Brahma, approaching the Lord, addressed him thus: My Lord, please protect me from these sinful demons who were created by me under your order. They are infuriated by an appetite for sex and have come to attack me. Purport. It appears here that the homosexual appetite of males for each other is created in this episode of the creation of the demons by Brahma. In other words, the homosexual appetite of a man for another man is demoniac and is not for any sane male in the ordinary course of life. So this is not for normal people, it's only for demoniac people. Text 27. That's why we don't recommend. Text 27. Huh?
It's legal now.
They are trying to make it legal.
Yeah, I know. Everywhere they're trying to make it legal.
But ultimately, it's a desire that can be changed.
It is a desire only. Yeah.
That can be changed.
Yeah, you can
They are
purify
making a
that.
big thing about
Yeah. Yeah. They are saying it's natural.
And they have different laws, they have different.
They're saying it's a natural thing and you shouldn't say it's wrong.
Because they think for normal also it is natural.
No, they are demonic people who are changing the law
Yeah,
to make it sound like it is okay. But actually it's not okay.
even
You have to be absolutely correct.
they have different benefits and then different all these things, insurance.
You are also very careful now. It's legal.
Oh, it is legal. So
When
you
you speak against
see
it,
when
then
they
people
read.
will-
I was going to say if they read our purports, they will say we are against gay community. The Hare Krishna is against gay community.
That way,
Yeah. So we will not speak. So you have to be careful how you introduce this. Basically, the way you should say is to go back to Godhead. We should not have any
material use.
sex desires. Doesn't matter what your pleasure is. Doesn't matter.
It is
Whether you like a man or woman or animal or what, doesn't matter. Chair, table, whatever. Doesn't matter. You have to be free of sex.
Yeah.
So then that's what this is.
Actually, one of the incidents happened in Seattle marketplace when Harivasu was going for Sankirtan. Yeah, that market. One of the food distributor who was helping for cleaning those things, I think that person came to and asked one of the DOT, saying, I don't remember the name, like, I'm a gay, can I join? I can chant.
Yeah, he said no.
Yeah.
I know Harivilas was very heavy about it. So yeah, if you,
Bhagavad also mentions probably we got to be very careful.
yeah, you have to other you can get sued and things
Yeah.
like that.
I can be thrown in jail. It's criminal act now.
It's
If you
criminal.
speak against, it's criminal.
I don't know it's criminal.
Yes, bro.
Yeah.
Yes,
Because it is legal.
it's criminal. If you speak against them, it's
But the DOT said yes, you can chant regardless of whether whatever you
All
want.
states in US.
a lot of states.
No, yes.
Yeah, something you all have to go and check and find out whether it's
No, in
criminal.
some years, I think India they will make it legal. Because the way it is,
To get votes.
yeah,
No, already there is a big community. It's not
yeah,
legalized.
yeah,
Right now, just now, last week, Supreme Court.
Yeah, I know, but
declared
it's
illegal.
declined it, yeah.
they are about 1% of the population, and yet they got so much say. Anyway, this country is crazy. Text 27.
It's all through comes through Disney Channel.
Business.
It all comes through Disney Channel.
Oh.
That's what I was supposed to say. All the cartoons, everything you watch, it's all the subtle form of homosexuality is created. That's what I was to mention. Watching cartoon is not safe. I was to
Yeah,
mention
he
this
gave
very
always making fun
Not
of
watching
everything.
cartoon.
No more watching that.
No more cartoon.
Okay, anyway. Text you chant Hare Krishna and Krishna will protect.
त्वमेकः किल लोकानां क्लिष्टानां क्लेशनाशनः त्वमेक क्लेशदस्तेषाम् अनासन्नपदां तव
My Lord, you are the only one capable of ending the affliction of the distressed and inflicting agony on those who never resort to your feet. So basically, if we feel all these problems that we cannot do much, we do our best, we have to actually pray to the Lord to protect us from all this kind of terrible situation. And then the Lord will take care of us. We cannot do much about this thing. The countries, all these laws they pass, so we have to depend on the Lord to protect us. Okay? It's terrible. Yeah, it's scary. That's why.
But so many Americans themselves are running away from these laws. They want to live in remote places
Yeah,
where they don't have to pay taxes.
yeah.
About 40% goes in taxes, and then all this constrained society, they are getting sick of it.
It's a demoniac society. That's what it is. Okay. 28.
So in terms of if just
Yeah.
new people ask about the position on homosexuality, and people don't typically, Indians at least.
No.
But if somebody asks, so then what is the
Well, we do not, as I said just now, our,
the same thing?
the main thing
generally-
is we are not against whatever you want to do, but if you want to perform devotional service, then you have to give up sex life. Finish. What is there to discuss further than that? Not interested how you want to do all that. Yes, we are not interested in those things. All we are interested in is you give up sex life and then you can perform this. Sex life is only for procreation. That's all, as far as our scripture is. Up to whatever you want to do, that's your problem. But you cannot approach the Supreme Lord based on
So it
our
will be detrimental.
yeah.
to you.
to your spiritual life.
Your
That's
spiritual
yeah.
Any sex life is better.
Just like that. Detrimental to spiritual.
Yeah.
Sovadhar yasya karpanyam viviktadhyatma darshanaha vimunchatma tanum bhoram iti yukto vimumochaha.
Well, basically, you cannot say it's detrimental to spiritual life. You have to say sex life. There's no sex life when you want to approach Krishna.
Oh,
Yeah, just say like that. And if you need sex life, then it has to be procreation. That's all you say. These are the two criteria. That's all Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. So stick to that. If they read all this, you say, no, it's because there's some other incident beside this. They're chasing a guy who's not interested, so that's wrong. Okay, anyway, coming back, translation. The Lord, who can distinctly see the minds of others, perceived Brahma's distress and said to him, cast off this impure body of yours. Thus commanded by the Lord, Brahma cast off his body. So he gave up his mental body. And then he has another body. The mental consciousness is what he drops off. So that becomes a body. The Lord is described here by the word Viviktadhyatma Darshanaha. If anyone can completely perceive another's distress without doubt, it is the Lord himself. Because the Lord is Paramatma, he's in your heart, he can fully understand you. Unless you are empathic. You know what empathic is? Yeah. That means you can feel the suffering of another person, the feelings of another person. And as a devotee, you should develop empathic feelings also, so you can feel compassionate also. If someone is in distress and wants to get relief from his friend, sometimes it so happens that his friend does not appreciate the volume of distress he is suffering. But for the Supreme Lord, it is not difficult. The Supreme Lord as Paramatma is sitting within the heart of every living entity, and he directly perceives the exact cause of distress. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, Sarvasya chaham vidhi sannivistaha. I'm sitting in everyone's heart, and because of me, one's remembrance and forgetfulness occur. Thus, whenever one fully surrenders onto the Supreme Lord, one finds that he is sitting within one's heart. So when we surrender, we can really feel that the Lord is actually with us, that he is reciprocating with us. He can give us direction how to get out of dangers or how to approach him in devotional service. Right? Dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti. So he gives us the intelligence by how to come to him. So similarly, Brahma is in distress and his prayers is answered by the Lord. Couple of lines later, Prabhupada writes, according to Sridhar Swami, Brahma's constant dropping of the body does not refer to his actually giving up his body. Rather, he suggests that Brahma gave up a particular mentality. Mind is a subtle body of the living entity. So he can drop that consciousness. Similarly, we also develop a lot of consciousness based on our association, based on what we eat. So many things we can create some kind of consciousness. So we have to also get rid of those consciousness also. Belief system, all those have to give up. That's why Krishna says Sarva Dharmam Parityaja. Because we have our own religious beliefs also. Not only something we follow, some concoction, something that we think is nice, we follow those things. So all that has to be given up. So when we give up that, then we become purified to take up Krishna consciousness easily. The Prabhupada continues, we may sometimes be absorbed in some thought which is sinful. But if we give up that sinful thought, it may be said that we give up the body. So similarly, we immediately focus on Krishna when something is disturbing. Sometimes it's not easy. When you are too much in distress, it's very hard to focus. So we have to practice. How to practice? Cry out to Krishna, chant loudly, so that way your mind can be controlled. Brahma's mind was not in correct order when he created the demons. So similarly, when you are disturbed, you are going to make a lot of mistakes and a lot of problems will come up. So therefore, we should also take the Lord in our hearts and then ask Him to guide us, even in making decisions. Lord, I want to make a decision. This is what I'm thinking. Please kindly make me do the right thing. This is not for my... If you are doing it for the benefit of society, yes, the Lord will help. But if you're doing it for your own selfish enjoyment, then you can forget it. Then you will suffer the consequences. So then continues Prabhupada. It must have been full of passion. So Brahma's mind was full of passion because the entire creation was passionate. Therefore, such passionate sons were born. Such personalities are really passionate. They really wanted to do that. There's a conversation, if you all do research, Prabhupada has a conversation regarding this issue where he says such personalities, they are so hard up of sex in one life, they are not satisfied with the sex with their wives or girls or whatever. So much so that they go for the opposite sex. Too much. So then this happens. So next life they take birth, they are attracted to their own thing. They don't want the responsibility or all kinds of things like that. It follows that any father and mother should also be careful while begetting children. The mental condition of a child depends upon the mental status of his parents at the time he is conceived. So it's also very important again. How do you reduce such things? The general population must be, consciousness must be very good. Otherwise you attract low class entities to take birth. And the low class entity will create problems in society. And that's very important. Huh? So one must be purified before one has good children. Otherwise,
in the case of ISKCON, people come without knowing any of this.
Yeah.
By which time they already have a couple of 3 or 4 kids already.
Yeah, but still, regardless of that, we should give Krishna consciousness to the children. Yeah. And then at least their next generation will be corrected or graced by the Lord's mercy. Text 29. The other thing also in society now, what are they pushing forward? So much sexual thing. The energy is so strong everywhere. It's ridiculous. So ridiculous that people are, because they don't understand what they are meant to do properly, they believe in all this, what the society is telling them. So therefore they pursue sense enjoyment, and then it ultimately leads to bad judgments. So much chaos. And then they don't know what to do. So they pass all these pseudo laws. And then they say, oh, now I'll arrest you if you call someone a donkey or a monkey or something like that. Right? You can't do that. It's all ridiculous. So that's what we are seeing. This is degradation of society.
They misguide the innocence
Yeah.
others, and they
So therefore,
exploit them, take everything, and they said what we are giving you is the right.
yeah, basically
make
that's
money.
what they are
They
saying.
make money.
The body given up by Brahma took the form of the evening twilight, when the day and night meet, a time which kindles passion. The asuras, who are passionate by nature, dominated as they are by the element of rajas, took it for a damsel, whose lotus feet resounded with the tinkling of anklets, whose eyes were wide with intoxication, and whose hips were covered by fine cloth, over which shone a girdle. So this is what happened to these demons. When Brahma discovered that, they immediately got attracted to this body he discarded, because it took the form of a twilight and it appeared to them as a beautiful woman. Text 30.
अन्योन्याश्लेषयोत्तुङ्ग निरन्तर पयोधरा सुनासां सुद्विजां स्निग्ध हासलीलावलोकना
Her breasts projected upward because of their clinging to each other, and they were too contiguous to admit any intervening space. She had a shapely nose and beautiful teeth, a lovely smile played on her lips, and she cast a spotful glance at the asuras. So you can see how these asuras are bewildered by sex. 31.
गुहन्तिं दृढयात्माना नीललकावरूथिनीं उपलभ्यासुरधर्मा सर्वे सम्मुहुस्त्रियम्
Adorned with dark tresses, she hid herself, as it were, out of shyness. Upon seeing that girl, the asuras were all infatuated with an appetite for sex. So this is exactly what you are seeing nowadays. Right?
Yeah.
Billboards, movies, it's just exactly from the dawn of creation till now it's still going on.
And
Things, huh?
and increasing.
It's trying to match this, but it can't match this. Prabhupada writes, the difference between demons and demigods is that a beautiful woman very easily attracts the minds of demons, but she cannot attract the mind of a godly person. A godly person is full of knowledge, and a demoniac person is full of ignorance. It means that if you are practicing devotee and you see someone beautiful and you're attracted, you immediately pray to the Lord and say, Lord, please help me. I know I shouldn't be thinking like that, but I have this problem. Please, you help me. And then you go away from that place. That is a person who's practicing. But a demonic person will say, oh God, this is so wonderful. Let me go and enjoy. That's the opposite thing. Huh? And similarly, Prabhupada says how a godly person, they dress properly. Huh? They don't do all nonsense like that. Whereas nowadays, you see, people are practically walking naked. Right? So terrible. Huh? Very bad. Not only used to be what everybody was very shy about showing their body. Now, everywhere they can do that. Huh? Entertainment show, it becomes like people are walking naked. That is entertainment. What is that? Isn't it? No more storylines. Correct? As long as you can show some flesh, and that's good. The movies now are rated, people rate it, if there's no flesh or skin, they say it's not a good show. If there's some skin, oh, very good, nice show. That's why local people talk like that. So you wonder what is going on in this society.
These traits are in mode of ignorance or passion or
Both passion and ignorance. Yeah. Heavily. So Prabhupada says, instead of looking all these things, stupid things, the real beauty is Krishna and Radha. One is attracted by the beauty of Radha and Krishna cannot be attracted by the false beauty of this material world. That is the difference between a demon and a godly person or devotee. So that's why every day you have to do service so that you can see the beauty of Radha and Krishna. Otherwise you will have to see this material beauty out there. Yeah. So you have to have Krishna's picture in your book so you can look at it, Radharani's in your car, like that. Or Narasimhadev to protect you. This is how you have to protect yourself. Who's going to do it if you don't do it? If you are young, your parents can cover your eyes for a while, but after that, how? Right?
no. Generally, it's noticed when people eat more meat and these.
Yeah, we eat meat and alcohol, yes. The passion increases. You cannot control your senses, actually. The senses become wild, and it becomes very difficult to control when you consume food in the mode of passion and ignorance. Not possible to control. Very difficult. Even though a man of sane mind sometimes even gets pulled away, right? We read in the Bhagavad Gita. So you cannot play with this. This senses you don't play. You harness them, you keep them. Huh?
First moment you got to cut it.
Yeah, you got to cut
The
it
moment
off.
you contemplate.
As soon as it comes up, you chop. Get out from the place, situation.
Well, practicing devotees. We can.
Exactly. So that's why you say, Krishna, help me, and run. Yeah. Text 32.
Aho rupam aho dharyam.
Aho rupam aho dhairyam.
Aho asya navam vayaha.
Aho asyanam vayam.
Madhye kama yamananam.
Madhye kamayam.
Akameva visharpati.
Akameva visarpati.
The demons praised her. Oh, what a beauty. What rare self-control. Self-control. What a budding youth. In the midst of all of us who are passionately longing for her, she's moving about like one absolutely free from passion. This is common. They talk about women like that nowadays also. So horrible. Right? But this is, all this you are reading in the Bhagavatam is actually reflection of the material world. It is the material world. So we should not think these things don't happen.
But they're more prominent now than they were.
Now you can
The
see
crime
before that,
against women is almost same.
no difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which we
Only
hear
thing is
nowadays.
now is more headline.
Yeah.
They showcase it now. Before they didn't showcase.
No, but it's become more like increased now. Also.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's all nicely showcased. Show more.
After that Delhi raid, there was a survey done, and so somebody asked the question, right? Various question. One of the question was, have you been verbally or some way assaulted in the last 1 year? 33% of women said yes. So 1 in 3.
And so many
No,
must have
probably
been quiet.
more than that.
So
They-
many must
This
have
is
been
the
quiet.
survey.
Yeah.
I'm only saying survey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Mataji.
I said so many must have been quiet. They wouldn't
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
tried to speak up.
Yeah. Text 33.
Oh, what do they mean by what rare self-control?
Yeah, she's saying because she's not coming to them.
Oh.
Oh, what wonderful self-control.
They're just very sarcastic.
He's walking absolutely.
Not really
Not
sarcastic.
sarcastic, but it's, I don't know.
This is, you are saying
They're trying
in
to
school
price
and
her. They're
in
trying to price her.
school, yeah, in
Yeah.
school and outside, the guys drinking, they look at a girl, they will disturb her and she'll just walk. Oh, look how wonderful this girl is. She's so self-controlling.
But in one lecture I read,
Yeah.
one of our man was telling like, he was explaining about shyness.
Shyness is different.
Yeah, but then he was telling shyness is not where you want to enjoy, but you're acting shy.
Yes.
So this is what is.
Well, this is not in that sense. This one is she will enjoy with them, but they are like, they're praising her in a different way. Oh, what self-control! We can enjoy.
Absolutely free from passion. That's what
Yeah, she was walking absolutely free from passion.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
why they are praising.
So there's nonsense actually. Text 33.
Vitarkayanto bahudha.
Vitarkayanto bahudha.
Tam sandhyam pramadakritim.
Tam sandhyam pramadakritim.
Abhisambhavya vishrambha.
Abhisambhavya vishrambha.
Paryaprichanna kumedasaha.
Paryaprichan kumedasaha.
Indulging in various speculations about the evening twilight, which appeared to them endowed with the form of a young woman, the wicked-minded asuras treated her with respect and fondly spoke to her as follows. In you mentioned about shyness and so on. Prabhupada gives an example that even those days, he said, even when the sannyasis or when a woman came with a broom to sweep, they all stood up and walked away because they respected that woman. But now they don't. They'll sit and ogle and say nonsense. Huh? So this is exactly what is it. Text 34.
Kashikasyasi rambhoru.
Kashikasyasi rambhoru.
Kovarthasthetra bhamini.
Kovarthasthetra bhamini.
Rupadravena panyena.
Rupadravena panyena.
Durbhagano vibadhase.
Durvagana vibhadase.
Who are you, O pretty girl? Whose wife or daughter are you? And what can be the object of your appearing before us? Why do you tantalize us, unfortunate as we are, with the priceless commodity of your beauty? Instead of meditating on Krishna, they are now focused on this girl, which is very common nowadays. Text 35.
यावकाचित्वम् अबले दिष्ट्या सन्दर्शनं तव उत्सुनोषि क्षमानानं कन्दुका क्रीडया मनः.
Whoever you may be, O beautiful girl, we are fortunate in being able to see you. While playing with the ball, you have agitated the minds of all onlookers. So Prabhupada writes here, in the first line, he says, the demons arrange many kinds of performance to see the glaring beauty of a beautiful woman. So it's true, even nowadays in Olympics and all, they have all kinds of stupid sports also, you know? Right? The gymnastic, rhythmic dancing and all this. For nonsense, you know, to see what? What is that Olympic caliber that is, right? So it's just to see the beautiful body of the woman, that's all. Here it is stated that they saw the girl playing with the ball. Sometimes the demonic arrange for so-called sports like tennis with the opposite sex. That's exactly what it is. The purpose of such sporting is to see the bodily construction of the beautiful girl and enjoy a subtle sex mentality. This demoniac sex mentality of material enjoyment, sometimes encouraged by so-called yogis who encourage the public to enjoy sex life in different varieties, and at the same time advertise that if one meditates on a certain manufactured mantra, one can become God within 6 months. Some yogis who Prabhupada don't mention the names, but they will. Then Prabhupada says, the public wants to be cheated. And Krishna therefore creates such cheaters to misrepresent and delude. Even though they are innocent in the public, they don't want to perform austerity. They don't want to pursue what the goal of life is. They want an easy life. So if you want such easy life and so on, you will be cheated. So that's why Prabhupada says the public wants to be cheated. And Krishna,
more than innocent, they're ignorant.
Ignorant, yeah. Very.
Like to be good.
Huh?
They like to be good.
Innocent people only present, they take up immediately.
Yeah. Innocent people will change. Ignorant people may not.
They will argue, they will do all kind of things.
They want to be in ignorance. Ignorance is bliss. So Prabhupada says these yogis are actually enjoyers of the world, garbed as yogis. So Prabhupada and then continues, he quotes Bhagavad Gita, however, recommends that if one wants to enjoy life, then it cannot be with these gross senses. And then later on, Prabhupada says, in spiritual life, we can enjoy sense enjoyment which has no end. The difference between material and spiritual enjoyment is that material enjoyment is limited. Even if a man engages in material sex enjoyment, he cannot enjoy it for long. But when sex enjoyment is given up, then one can enter spiritual life which is unending. You see, there's no sex life in the spirit because the pleasure in serving the Supreme Lord is so great, they don't even care about these things.
Prabhupada said this to the people who came back, some of them are drug users.
Oh, the drug. Prabhupada told them.
Krishna, you can stay high forever.
High forever, yeah. That's right. Then Prabhupada quotes in the Bhagavatam, right? It is stated that Brahma Saukya, spiritual happiness, is ananta, unending, ever expanding. Huh? Foolish creatures are enamored by the beauty of matter and think the enjoyment it offers is real, but actually that is not real enjoyment. So that's what it is. When we enjoy the material, when we are trying to enjoy the material nature, we can't. It's temporary and it doesn't give you real enjoyment.
यही संस्पर्शी था वो आदि अंतवंत form.
Okay, we'll stop because we all have to go.
tomorrow, what time?
10 o'clock.
Next to the 6th.